Hi, it's Mike, Captain Orange. I want to read you a story today by the author Dan Santat. It's called After the Fall, a story about how Humpty Dumpty gets back up again. And predicated on the childhood rhyme, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. And in a modern twist on the story, rather than leaving Humpty a broken shell of themselves at the bottom of the wall, Dan Santat asks, first of all, why was this egg on the wall in the first place? And second, what happens when they get back up again? What if we could put that egg back together? This story I've been doing for lots of years as a storyteller and a reader of children's books, and I really love it. It's complex and speaks not just to children, but to adults, and I've read it many times to adults. And today, I'm dedicating this one to some young adults in my life. This is for Kat and Elle and my own children, Anwin and Leo. And I have a special message for Kat in particular, who asked, which is to say that sometimes as an adult, I've found that the hardest thing that I can do is to know what it is that I need. And that maybe even sometimes, even harder than that, I guess, would be asking for it. And Kat, you did that. You identified a need for yourself and you've asked for it. And for that, and I'm sure for many other things, I'm proud of you. Good job. Anyway, now I'm going to read After the Fall by Dan Santat. It goes like this. We start on the page with what appears to be Humpty, high up on the wall, surrounded by some little speckles. Kind of looks like you'd get some good perspective up there. I can see why you might like it. And then we see the tragic and inevitable action. I mean, the whole story depends on Humpty falling. There he goes. My name is Humpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. Yeah, I know. It's an odd place to be, but especially as an egg, but I loved it. I loved being close to my friends, the birds. Well, then one day I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident. But it changed my life. Fortunately, all of the king's men managed to put me back together. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. Oh, well, this page is a bit of a non sequitur. We've got cereal, Rainbow Bites, Crunch Tiger, I'd love that. Who wouldn't want Sugar Bunny or Fruit Hoops, Honey Bear, or Bolt cereal? But Humpty can't have those things anymore. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. Yeah, Yeah, so, I mean, all that's left is what? At the bottom of the shelf, grown-up food, leaves, twigs and berries, or cardboard cereal. I walked past that wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city. But I could never do it, because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. We've seen here that Humpty's trapped in a life that he doesn't really enjoy. A trauma has kept him from enjoying the things that he loves because he's afraid of being re-traumatized. But it looks like there's an idea, so that's hopeful. Let's see what happens. Making paper planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches. But day after day, I kept trying. And trying. Until I got it just right. Sometimes it takes a long time to get those things just the way we want them, and failure is inevitable. But Humpty persevered. He's got himself a really kick-butt airplane. Looks like a bird. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Sometimes we settle for something that's close enough when we can't have the thing that we really want. I'm not sure that that's going to work for Humpty. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. And you can see Humpty's solution, the paper airplane that gives some semblance of what it's like to be high up, even if Humpty can't do it themselves, has gone up on the wall. Led them back to that thing that, in this case physically, but maybe in our case metaphorically, is always hanging over us. But then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the things that I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. They looked terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time, until I was no longer afraid. It looks like they conquered their fear. That's pretty amazing, and a lot of children's books would end right here. Congratulations, Humpty, you did it. But you're never quite done. Maybe now you won't think of me as an egg who was famous for falling. Crack. What's happening? Crack. Hopefully you'll remember me, crack, as the egg who got back up. Crack, crack. Boom. And learned how to fly. Buy shirt. Buy pants. See you later, Ty. You know, it took me many readings of this book to recognize that, of course, an egg would want to be up on the wall with the birds. Because inside, that egg was a bird. Now I think they can go up and rejoin their friends. Have the life that is meant for them, the one that they almost gave up on. There's a moral to the story, which you've probably figured out. Life begins when you get back up. Well, that's After the Fall by Dan Santat. And I hope that you enjoyed the story. Maybe you were just a little person who was seeing it for the first time. Maybe you're a big person and you've recognized that these picture books, things that ostensibly we make for children, contain a lot of really useful information for adults sometimes. This is one of those ones, and maybe you'll come back and read with me again. Bye.